Welcome to Duo Chats with Brittany and Cynthia, where we talk about drama shows from shows ranging from the 90s to today.
Hi everyone, I'm Brittany,
And I'm Cynthia.
and today we're talking about season 3, episode 4. Title is Home Movies, air date October 20th, 1999, and the synopsis is
Mitch and Dawson are at odds again when Dawson moves forward with a news piece for his mother's Philadelphia station using Mitch's star player Jack as his subject, even though Mitch is opposed to it. Meanwhile, Joey and Pacey find themselves paying the price for ditching school so Pacey can work on a dream boat he plans to sail around the world in. While Andie panics and jumps to conclusions when Principal Green wants to meet with her after school, thinking that he knows about her cheating on the PSATs. Also, Jen goes to great lengths to remove herself as head cheerleader due to the stress, but is shocked at the end results, which involve Henry.
Henry.
Mm-hmm.
They actually put Andie's storyline in the synopsis.
Yep, I guess so.
Why?
Just to include all the main characters, probably.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, nothing really happened, but okay.
Right, yeah.
You know who I am liking? Principal Green.
Oh, yeah.
I like him.
Mm-hmm, me too.
I'm like, can't everybody have a Principal Green?
Mm-hmm.
Someone who's funny but cares.
Yeah.
Okay, what did you think of the beginning?
Well, I was surprised they weren't watching a movie for once.
Wasn't it like dark in his room too?
Yeah, because he was still watching tapes, but like home movie tapes.
Okay, and what was it that Pacey brought in? I'm like,
Um,
what is that? Because the name that he said, I don't know what he said, but I was like, what are you
yeah,
speaking gibberish to me?
it was some type of tape or player or something.
Yeah, it was no word I've ever heard of.
Yeah. So, and then one of those tapes that not Joey, Dawson was watching was of him and Joey meeting for the first time or playing
Oh, okay.
together when they were 7, I believe they said,
How
or 6.
long? I mean, I didn't hear the age, but how long? Or previous seasons or episodes? How long did they say that they didn't they say they met when they were like 2 or something?
I,
Or babies? They've known each other for 15 years or something?
I don't know, because in the pilot, Dawson said that Joey had been sleeping over since they were 7. So I was thinking this tape showed them maybe meeting at 6 years old because they didn't seem any younger than that.
No.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just like they act I don't know. I feel like they've said like that they've known each other like their whole life and blah blah blah.
I know that was with Pacey and Dawson.
Huh.
I don't know.
It's just weird. I'm like, I don't know if this is gonna add up. But okay. I'm like, okay, so all of a sudden they're 6, 7, 8, I don't know. But
Mm-hmm.
in this video they definitely were not 5 or younger.
Right.
And since Joey is Joey 16 yet? Or she's still 15?
No, because there's a moment where she's talking to Rob, and she said, "Wait till she's legal in 2 years." So she is 16.
Okay. Because I'm like, Jen is 16,
Mm-hmm.
back in season 1. Uh Pacey is 16, Dawson 16. I'm like, when did Joey turn 16?
Right.
I mean, I'm hoping eventually because we are in season 3.
Mm-hmm.
And they're juniors now, so I'm hoping eventually she'll be 16. Yeah. Do you like it better when it's Pacey and Dawson in his room or Joey and Dawson?
Well, Pacey, just because it's you know, new. It's just like it was getting really repetitive with Joey, so it's nice to see Dawson and Pacey like not even just watching a movie, just talking to each other because they hadn't had much of that before. So
Yeah, like me, I got 2 points. 1, I don't like Dawson and Joey as friends.
hmm.
They're boring. I don't need to see them watching a movie.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Right.
And talking about I don't need to see them every beginning of the episode. And then one's always whining. I think you know which one that is. But the second point is they've said since the pilot episode that Pacey and Dawson are best friends and blah 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 blah. Well, guess what? We never saw it in season 1 or 2. They
Right.
never had this friendship that was, so deep rooted and lasted this long and everything. You know, like you said they've been friends for 16 years. I don't know how when they were babies, but but I just like this better because we're finally seeing what they've been talking about for 2 seasons.
Mm-hmm.
We're finally getting to see the friendship. I mean, I know why, but because of the future, but I'm like, I wish we would have seen this in season 1.
Me too.
It was too much of, I think, Dawson and Joey, and I would have loved to see more of Pacey and Dawson.
Mm-hmm.
Because then in season 3, I would have believed that they were friends. Because it just seemed like for 2 years, Pacey was just the third wheel and the sidekick. He was only needed when needed.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't important.
Yeah.
They only made it important of Dawson and Joey, and I didn't like that. If you're gonna have these two as best friends, you know, Dawson and Joey are best friends, and Dawson and Pacey are best friends, then you need to show it, not just tell us.
Mm-hmm.
Because I need to feel that they're best friends.
Yeah.
And we're finally seeing it because
Mm-hmm.
Pacey's now always coming over, and I love it.
Yeah.
That's what I need to see.
Mm-hmm.
But I wish I would have seen it earlier.
Me too.
Because especially in season 1, Pacey didn't have a girlfriend. Yeah, he had Miss Jacobs he was seeing for half the season. But after that, they didn't really show Dawson and Pacey as friends. Not like they could have.
Right. I think it's just because one of them was always like going after a girl or something. So like this is the first time that they're both single, at least for a certain amount of time, like not just one episode, like multiple episodes. So they finally have a reason
Yeah, but you
to
could have
talk.
done it once a season.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like have them really show that they're friends.
Mm-hmm.
Now they are.
Yeah.
And yes, it's cute. I think having Pacey around makes Dawson less annoying.
Mm-hmm.
At least right now.
Yeah.
He's not so whiny.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's because Pacey somewhat tries to uplift him.
Yeah.
Because when it's Joey, they're both like Debbie Downers. But Pacey makes it better. So I think Dawson's less annoying. See, I said something nice. Less annoying.
Mm-hmm.
Well, isn't he?
Sometimes, yeah.
No, with Pacey though. The
No.
difference.
Oh, no, he's better, yeah.
Okay. That's what I'm saying. I'd
Yeah.
rather see that.
Mm-hmm.
Can I just like have a whole episode of just the two of them would be okay. See, I could actually stand to watch Dawson.
Yeah, the closest we got to that was when they went to
The fishing trip.
yeah.
Yeah, but
No, not that. With Billy.
I didn't like Billy though.
Yeah, I know. I'm just that was the closest we had.
Yeah, I could
Of
have
them
done
hanging
without
out.
Billy. I
Right.
could have done Pacey taking Dawson out.
Mm-hmm.
I just didn't need Billy.
Yeah. I mean,
And again, they didn't really have one-on-one. Billy was
yeah.
around.
Yeah, we just saw at the end of Pacey's birthday episode, that's when they got into the car and took off.
Yeah, and it was cute.
Yeah, but
again,
that's all we saw.
I know, that's all. That was it.
Yeah.
Episode is done. We're moving on to never seeing it again.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't like it. I'm like, I don't get the obsession though of making it all about Dawson and Joey when there's another friendship
Mm-hmm.
that has been lost.
Yeah.
I need to see that one.
Yeah, just with most shows, it's like the romantic relationships are more a priority to focus on than platonic friendships.
Yeah, it's really annoying.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm sorry, but everybody needs a friend.
Yeah, I think platonic friendships are, if, equal as romantic, but maybe even more important than them.
Well, yeah, because then you can vent
Mm-hmm.
to that person.
Yeah.
Stuff you can never tell your significant other.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I just like that. But his room was really dark.
Mm-hmm.
And then what was it that Pacey said about that movie or the video with Dawson and Joey? Something about Heartbreaker or something.
Yeah.
And then he lays back in the bed.
Yeah. It was something that Joey did to Dawson on the tape. I don't know if she pushed him or something, but that's what he was referring
Yeah,
to.
because he said something Heartbreaker. Right,
Yeah, like
Dawson.
Once a heartbreaker, always a heartbreaker or something like that.
And then he said, right, Dawson or something. And I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
really, Pacey?
Yeah.
And then didn't he say something like, oh, is that who I think it is or something. I'm like, oh my God, Pacey. Yes, we know you like her. How come Pacey's not running around with two of them?
I don't know, but he should be, you know.
I know. There should be two boys and a girl running around.
Mm-hmm.
Pacey should be picking on Joey and Joey picking on Dawson. What?
No, that yeah, they would do that if they were hanging out.
If they were kids.
Mm-hmm.
That's what would have happened.
Yeah.
I want to see that video.
And then Jen was trying to make cheerleading any less boring than it is and trying to um shake things up with her uniform that Graham didn't approve of course.
I didn't approve of it either.
Yeah, I thought the
What?
fish
Yes, well, I wrote it down.
yeah,
What
the
did you think
fishnets were
of
too
Jen's
much.
fishnet?
Yeah, they were too much in the boots.
I'm
I
like,
mean,
why you
like,
got a big hole in it? I'm like,
yeah, I know. Like, if you're gonna wear them, they should not have
holes,
holes like that.
and they're
Yeah.
big. It's
Mm-hmm.
one thing if they were like really small holes. I
Yeah.
could tolerate it.
Mm-hmm.
But they were huge. Like, how did she even get on without sticking her foot through it?
Right. Or rip it even more.
Right. I was just like, Jen, really?
Yeah.
And then you're complaining about how isn't she wearing them because she doesn't want people like what's her reason?
Objectifying her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you got a big hole. What do you think you can
Yeah, they're
still
gonna notice
see?
her anyhow, yeah.
And anyway, they're gonna point you out compared to the cheerleader next to you because of what you're wearing.
Yeah.
I'm just saying my eyes went right to that hole.
Yeah.
Okay. And the hole was above like
Mm-hmm.
it was like really up there. So I was like, Jen, no. Wrong outfit.
Yeah.
Like she looks cute in the cheerleading outfit, but the whole fishnet thing. Ugh.
Mm-hmm.
And then did you hear what she said to Graham? But when she was leaving, because she said like something about like, oh, you were what'd she say, like you were objectifying yourself. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she said that I think you were showing more than just school spirit, I think.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
and then Graham's like, what? Oh, like all of a sudden she got it. I was like, oh my God. So what was Graham's a cheerleader?
Yeah.
See, I wasn't really listening. I was just too busy looking at those ugly fishnets.
Yeah, she said that when she was young, she was proud to wear her uniform to school as it was.
I can't picture Graham's as a cheerleader because she's so uptight.
Right.
Especially with like Jen, I can't imagine her being a cheerleader.
Mm-hmm. Right.
But just saying.
Yeah. And this is what started getting my attention for this episode.
Ooh, what
hallway.
is it? What happened in the hallway, Cynthia?
Well,
I want to know.
Yeah, Joey's walking in the hall, and then behind her is a
is what?
Is a like a cardboard cutout of the school's mascot.
Okay, but and what is the school's mascot?
Well, wasn't it like a? It was a like a.
I thought it was a pirate.
Yes, yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
I thought the cutout was like some pirate.
Mm-hmm.
But yet, they're a mule. Later on, they have to dress as a mule, which we'll get to. But but then in season 1, Cynthia, what did they say they were?
Wildcat.
Okay, how can you be all three?
I know.
In the same episode, though, they have a mule and a pirate.
Yeah.
It makes no sense. What kind of show is this?
Yeah, that would have been the same for our school because we had something similar to the pirate, but if we had an animal to it, that just wouldn't make sense at all.
No. I liked ours.
Me too.
Don't they now have a sword?
Mm-hmm.
How are they able to have the sword? Didn't things get uptight around here?
I don't think so. I don't know.
They actually have the sword, though. Like, you could chop somebody with that.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's
maybe
violence.
Yeah.
Violence is never the answer. And yet, our school has violence, apparently. Why do they got a sword?
I don't know.
And it's really weird that they got the same initials.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but behind the cardboard
But not
cutout,
the same colors, just so everybody knows.
Yeah. Behind the cardboard.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Did you? I know I'm trying to save what you're about to say.
Mm-hmm.
I'll let you say it. But are you happy that they're yellow and blue, and we were High School Musical colors?
Yeah, we fit that more than they do. I don't know, like blue and yellow. I don't know.
You just keep thinking of blue and yellow.
Yeah, it doesn't. I don't know. They're okay colors, but not great together, I don't think.
Mm-hmm.
Because I can't think of anything that's really even blue and yellow.
I do.
What?
Michigan.
Oh yeah. Well,
I just literally got it.
isn't their blue like a lighter?
It's like the maize blue.
Yeah. Ours is really dark, like a dark blue,
Huh?
maybe.
No.
What?
Michigan colors. That's why they call it maize, like maize out,
Oh.
because it's
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, but
Oh. Okay. Yeah.
they're blue and yellow,
Right.
but they're also Wolverines. I don't know how that matches, but okay.
Mm-hmm.
But I like blue. I just don't know if their yellow goes with the blue.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. That's what I was
It's a
thinking.
different yellow,
Mm-hmm.
like
Yeah.
the yellow that Michigan has.
Is bright.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
cheerful.
Mm-hmm.
Their blue is kind of goldish, don't you think?
Yeah.
It's darker. I don't like their yellow.
Mm-hmm.
But also, what does it have to do with a mule or a pirate? And how can they be both? And also, what in the heck is a Minuteman?
We still don't know yet.
I do not understand the 90s terms at all. Can you look that up for me? What is a Minuteman?
I did before, and all I brought up was the like I said the DCOM movie that I know from 2007. Um,
Okay,
there's
what
a
do you think it means?
I have no idea.
Is it supposed to be football? Why don't they just say the word football? Isn't it cooler to say football player than it is to say a Minuteman?
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. Could you imagine any of the guys that we went to school with and they played football? Could you hear could you see vision any of them saying Minuteman?
No.
They would be like, that is the dumbest thing I have ever heard. And you know what? I agree.
Yeah, so that yellow is more like a gold color. Looking at it now.
On this show?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I didn't know if you were talking about Michigan or not.
Yep. And then I'm seeing a picture of graduation, but the
Let's just
sign.
skip right to it.
But I'm looking up the school colors, and that's all it can give me. On the sign of this school, it looks more of a um pioneer than a pirate, unless it like faded away. I'll show you it later. But yeah, to say home of the Minutemen when before in the pilot episode it said home of the Wildcats. So they did completely change the mascot between 1 and 3 for some reason.
New writers.
Mm-hmm.
I just you're not doing your job if you can't keep it consistent.
Mm-hmm.
If we're writers, I'm gonna go back to the pilot and see what was in it.
Yeah.
Because it obviously there was reasons why it was in there, and you should keep it that way, especially because fans notice those things.
Mm-hmm.
And also, if anyone out there knows what a Minuteman is or whatever, please let me know because I have no idea. I was only a child in the 90s. That's it. I'm so glad I didn't really I wasn't a teenager in the 90s. I don't know, just like terms don't really add up. Like, what's a Minuteman? I'm sorry, I've never heard of it. Have you?
From the DCOM, yeah.
Okay, but is it like something from the South or something? Since this
I
was
don't
filmed in the South.
I don't know. I don't know where
Because,
the
we're from the
Minutemen was
North,
supposed to take
so
place. Mm-hmm.
I'm from the North. I don't speak that term.
Mm-hmm.
But home of the Minute. Okay, now it's home of the Minutemen or whatever.
Yeah. Instead of Wildcats.
Or Bull.
Mm-hmm.
Or Pirate.
Yeah.
Oh my god. But anyway, apparently they're something of blue and yellow. Or gold.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. Let's go with that, I guess, for this episode.
Yep.
All right. So anyway, going back to what Pacey is behind the pirate.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so
Then what happens?
the cardboard cutout that was following Joey happens to be Pacey, like kind of creeping up on her without her even seeing him, but she doesn't even like question it. She just keeps walking even though she knows it's following her.
Well,
But
she does. She stops, and then it
Mhm.
stops. The
Mhm.
cardboard stops, and then she looks at it, and then keeps walking, and then it does it again. And he pops out.
Yeah. And that's when he says that he has a surprise that he needs to show her. And he's saying it in some kind of French accent.
Oh my, that's what I mean. He's the best with accents. I keep telling you, you don't ever believe me.
No, he did do pretty well at the pageant.
Yeah, you said it was like okay or something, and I'm like, he's great with this.
Yeah, so she says she's not going anywhere with him, but Pacey says that
Famous last words.
yeah, she has 10 seconds to make up her mind as he went around the corner.
Okay, as he's going 1, 2, 3, I was like, oh my god. Okay, when he's doing his countdown, he's counting really fast. First of all, but when she walks around the corner and then he says 6 seconds, I'm like, I counted that as he finished 4. I went 5, 6 because that's what he was doing. It took her longer than 6 seconds. I'm just gonna say it. Didn't it?
Yeah.
It was like 8 seconds before she got around the corner, and then he said, "I thought you'd at least last 8," and I'm like, "But she did. If you counted like I did, it was 8 seconds." Why didn't the writers slow him down? Why did they make him say 4? When he was going around the corner, he should have been 3.
Probably just time-wise for the episode.
But I counted the way he counted 1, 2, 3, and it didn't make any sense. I was at 8 when she went around the corner. You gotta put this in there. I'm sorry, some things from this episode could have been cut out. All Andie's storyline. So we could have made room for that 2 seconds that she would have had to walk there. We would have been, it wouldn't even have to add anything to the episode, Cynthia. All you had to do was have him not say 3 or not say 4 before you got around the corner. He should have been 1, as he's walking, 1, 2, 3, and walked around the corner. Not 4 and walked around the corner. That's what got it. It could have been the same amount of time without him saying it, because it still took her 8 seconds.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. If I would have directed that, that's how I would have directed it, to make it make sense. But it was adorable. How did you like when he put his hands on her shoulder, arm, or whatever, and then she was like,
yeah, like, don't touch
doing
me.
that with her arms, getting him off of her. It was funny.
Yeah, she said that she loathes him.
Whatever. What she really means is she loves him.
And then at the football field, Henry was showing the team his lucky mouthpiece. And it was Doug's, like Doug's as in Pacey's brother. He did say it, Doug.
Maybe he has a brother, Doug. Maybe this show only knows a couple names and that's it.
Yeah. But anyways, yeah, I was with Jen on this one and saying how it was just gross how he was just carrying it around like that as a lucky charm.
Yeah, she said it was gross, and then she said, Henry needs his head examined. I was like, well, maybe he got hit a few too many times on the field.
Probably. Yeah.
But what was up? Why are all the guys, that's what guys do? They're just sitting around listening to his story about his mouthpiece?
Yeah. Every single person on the team.
And they're all just like
so fascinated.
They're just like, ooh, what else you got to say? As if they're talking about some girl.
Yeah.
It would have been better if they were talking about a girl.
Right.
At least it would have made sense. But they're not. They're talking about mouthpiece. That is disgusting.
I know.
And he's had it for so many years or something. Yeah. Ew. And I don't think he probably washed it. That's disgusting.
Yeah. Most definitely.
But yeah, he just going on, and that was, and they're all in that little circle, and it made no sense. That's what they're going to talk about? That's the dumbest thing see, that amount of time that they talked about the mouthpiece, they could have shortened that in half, and we could have spent more time with Pacey and Joey. Just saying. I didn't need to hear about the mouthpiece.
Yeah, I know.
And watching the guys all creeping, and it was weird. They were too invested. Yeah. It's a mouthpiece, boys. Really? Get over it.
And then Jen finds out about the silent auction and how the prize is for the person to ride on the mule and then get a kiss from the head cheerleader.
How did you like how the one girl kept saying, Jenny? And then Jen's like, it's Jen. And then, I don't know, like a second later, because, it doesn't go by minutes, it goes by seconds. She's like, Jenny. And I'm like, didn't she just say her name's Jen, girl? Like, get it right. She doesn't look like a Jenny. She does look like a Jen, not a Jenny. Right. But I was like, she already told you once what her name is, so shut up. Clearly the girl isn't very smart to not listen to her.
Yeah, because a lot of people that meet me for the first time automatically assume I go by Cindy.
Can I call you Cindy?
No.
I don't know. I feel like Cindy is like a grown-up name.
As if I'm not grown up.
No, we are, but I don't know. Like, it's like, I don't know, like our parents' generation name, not like what you would name your kid.
Oh, it's an old-timey name, yeah.
Just like our names aren't really used anymore.
Right.
Now the little kids' names that people are having are so unique.
Yeah,
Like I've never heard of them.
yeah, a lot of fictional characters.
Yeah. So it's like it goes by generation, and the
Yeah.
name Cindy goes in like our parents' generation, not our generation, because we didn't go to school with any Cindys.
No.
Yeah, throughout my whole 14 years, that's preschool and kindergarten. It's like there was no Cindys that I remember.
Right.
If there was, I'm sorry, but I don't think there was.
No.
But yeah, I don't know. I would just call you Cynthia because that's your name,
Mm-hmm.
not Cindy.
Yeah.
Do you ever? So how do you tell people? Because like you're really nice and quiet. So like, do you yell at them like Jen did?
No.
It's Jen.
No. Because usually, when they do say Cindy, they're like, "Oh, do you go by that?" And I just say no, and then that's that. But then it's usually happens again anyway. So
So what would you do if somebody just said Cindy without saying, "Is that what you go by?" Like if they just said, "Hi, Cindy," and you were like, "What?"
yeah, I don't know if we were like friends or something, then I'll correct them. But if we're
Cindy,
like acquaintances that I might not see often or short amount of time, I don't really, doesn't really matter to me.
because you're never gonna see him again.
Yeah, yeah, but
Well, and sometimes like if I don't like somebody, it's like, sure, that's my name. That's what I would just say. Yep, it's Cindy. And then the next time they meet, I've never met you before. Remember, my name's Cynthia if you met me. That's what you should say.
Yeah, so Jen wasn't happy that they made the silent auction, just from her without her consent.
Okay, that is weird.
Yeah.
Why is the school doing a silent auction
Mm-hmm.
and it involves the head cheerleader, Jen, having to kiss a stranger? She's 16 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And she didn't make this up. And
Yeah,
I'm sorry, but what school would allow this?
I know.
They'd be pressed for those lawyers would be coming after them.
Yeah,
They'd have so many charges.
yeah, because we find out later that the auction's for orphans.
But even so, you'd have to get your parent consent. You'd have to consent to it. I mean, and even if Jen consented, somebody else would have, like her. Well, I guess Graham's kind of did.
Yeah, because if it's a silent auction, like anybody could participate. Adults that are way older than Jen. So that too, unless it was just strictly like a student thing. But then again, how many students are going to have that much money?
Right. I mean, it's not like they live in a rich city. But yeah, I didn't like this because they didn't say how old it goes up to. Like you said, it's only for the high schoolers or anyone. So could any creepy old man be like, yeah, I want to kiss a 16-year-old. Here's the money. I mean, that's disgusting.
Yeah.
Ew, ew, ew. And what if Jen doesn't like the dude?
Right.
That's just creepy. It's one thing if she was like, I'm on board. Let me do this. But she's not. She's totally against it.
Yeah.
And wants off the team because of it. And I'm like, I don't blame you. I wouldn't want to kiss somebody that I never met.
Yeah.
Just some rando.
Yeah, so that was the final straw to make her
I'd be
quit.
like, yeah, I guess on the cheek. And that's it. Like, that's as far as it's going to go. I don't know you, and I don't want to know you.
Yep. And then that's when Andie walks out of a classroom.
Do you think the 90s were different, though? Because, like, nowadays, or especially when we were in school, too, you couldn't do that.
Right, no.
Or do you think that it's just because it's a TV show?
Yeah, I think a TV show.
Because I feel like the 90s were probably strict, too. I mean, we were in elementary when the show came out, so it's not like we were not born yet.
Right.
So I feel like it hasn't changed since we were little. So I just don't like it. It's disturbing to me.
Yeah.
Do you think the writers had this fantasy
Maybe
of this kiss?
Maybe. It's a good question.
That's crazy. Writers out there, let me know. I know you probably don't want to talk to me because I've said not the nicest things about your writing because the show is so boring.
And that's when Andie walks out of a classroom and bumps into a man with the EAT's Educational Testing Service.
What did you think of that?
Um,
What are your thoughts?
well, this is the second time Andie's run into somebody else. The first person was Pacey, but now this guy. But when she tried
Yeah,
helping
but
him,
this is the first time since she's stolen the test.
yeah, so when she sees him and realizes who he is, she gets all nervous and tries to help him pick up his papers, but he's like, "Don't touch anything," because she can't see anything that's in the papers because it's confidential. And then she just starts babbling, thinking that he's at the school because of her. But of course, she can't like ask too many details, to make her look suspicious. But she did ask, didn't she like babble on saying about like hopefully nobody's broken any rules or something like that?
Or something lines of like stealing.
Yeah.
And then didn't the guy say something like I don't know, didn't he? I don't know. I feel like he kind of said something in the lines of like, "Oh, if you know, we need to know." So I don't know. It was just weird, the whole discussion.
Yeah.
And of course, isn't it just so? I don't know what's the word.
Convenient.
Yeah, convenient that she would run into the guy who's doing the test
Right.
scoring. Really?
Yeah.
And also, they actually had those people that
I
come
guess
into
so.
the building
Yeah.
to
I don't know.
score the test.
I guess. I don't know how those work.
You don't think the staff scored it?
I don't know, unless they just, I feel like they would just send them somewhere, like mail them maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like just
Like they
one
would with
individual.
voting back then. Yeah. Whatever
Yep.
you did for voting, you probably did for the test.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't just come to your school. Think
Right.
about it. They'd have to go to like every school.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yeah, that would
No.
take too long.
Yeah. And there's 50 states.
Yeah.
That's too many schools. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
And one state has too many.
Yeah.
So that would, no, not be.
Right.
Think about it. Do you think somebody came into ours to grade our ACTs?
No.
Exactly.
Just like collect them, but not grade them.
Yeah.
No.
And then they probably just sent them through a scanner for us. But
Mm-hmm.
back then, yeah, I would think mailing or whatever
Mm-hmm.
the thing was back then. But yeah, I was like, that wouldn't, I don't know if that would really be right or possible that this guy would just randomly be at the school to take care of the test.
Right.
That's weird.
Mm-hmm.
Unless I could only see it if like there was like a true violation and they had to get an outside person to come in and kind of audit the whole thing and see what's going on. But since nothing came out of it,
Mm-hmm.
there would be no reason for that guy to be there
Yeah.
because there was no problem to begin with.
Right.
So, because Principal Green doesn't know about it yet. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it didn't make any sense to me.
Yeah.
And also, again, you could have cut this scene out.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't important to me.
Right. Me too.
I mean, did you like it at all?
No, especially since it never went anywhere. So it was kind of pointless.
Yeah. And do you feel like they threw this in because they don't know what to do with Andie?
Yeah.
It was like her filler.
Mm-hmm.
Because think about it. She doesn't interact with anyone in this episode except for that guy
Mm-hmm.
and Jack a little bit.
Yeah.
And that's it. No one from the group.
Yeah.
Everyone else is kind of like, tangled kind of with each other. But Andie, she's the only odd one out. Everybody else has somebody that they're having all these scenes with. But she's not. It's really weird.
Yeah, I think the writers created her character as a love interest for Pacey, but never like
Thought
thought,
she'd last.
yeah, or maybe they didn't even think that they would break up, so they didn't know what else to do with her when they did break up. So
Well, I have a question about that.
yeah,
They could have made it Pacey and Andie, the greatest love story, blah, blah, blah. They could have done that, like other shows do. Why? I just don't get it. Because they were good together. It's not like they weren't.
mm-hmm.
Why do you think they made her change? Like make her go through everything. And then now she's got no one. She has no friends because she didn't really have any friends to begin with. She had Pacey's friends and she wasn't really friends with the girls.
Mm-hmm.
And all she has is her brother, but he's living with Jen. So, I mean, Why do you think they did that?
Well, it's kind of like Jen, after her and Dawson broke up, she didn't know what to do either. So I guess,
Yeah, and then they threw her with Abby,
yeah. So I think
which was a bad idea.
the writers just didn't know what to do with the girl when she wasn't with the guy anymore. So, like, she only had one purpose.
Yeah, so basically she came on the scene
Mm-hmm.
just to make the guy look good or whatever. And then, oh, you still want to be on the show?
Yeah.
What little thing can we do for you?
Right.
That's messed up.
Mm-hmm.
The writing, I'm telling you, it's very sexist when you think about it.
Yeah.
Because she's smart. She could be doing other things. And the fact that she has nothing to do in this episode,
Mm-hmm.
and she is a good actress,
Yeah.
it's ridiculous how she doesn't have anything else to do.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she could be helping cheerleaders or something. I don't know. But the fact that she has nothing to do,
Mm-hmm.
and like to get her mind off things, she should be volunteering and stuff.
Right.
Maybe they could have had her come up with where the money's going towards for charity.
Yeah. They could.
Maybe
Yeah.
maybe they could have said Andie is in charge of this, and then she came up with it going there. The fact that they didn't put her in anything is driving me crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Who just writes her off to the side?
I don't know. Like I said, they just didn't plan ahead.
Okay, but see when they so what, do you think she only signed like a 1-year contract and then they were like, "Oh, you're coming back?"
Probably. Maybe.
I want to know these things. Like, what were the writers thinking? And again, we don't really we see a little of Jack and Andie, but it's not enough.
I know. Yeah. And you kind of forget they're siblings.
Yes, because they don't even live together. So you don't have that home life where you run into your sibling
Yeah.
or you're having breakfast and you're like, "Where are you going?" and blah, just what are you doing today? I mean, just they don't do anything.
Right.
You see it with Jen and Jack,
Mm-hmm.
but you don't see it with Andie and Jack, and they're supposed to be the siblings.
Yeah.
I don't believe that they're siblings anymore. I mean, I didn't really like that they didn't put the sibling relationship in to begin with. Remember? It was like all of a sudden they're siblings when they want to be, I guess.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, here we are once again, just Andie's out of place. I don't like it.
Me either.
And everybody kind of has their own things going on too, I feel
Yeah.
like.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's football, there's the cheerleaders that have to do with the football, and then there's Pacey and Joey on their own, and then there's Andie.
Yeah. And Dawson has his documentary.
Yeah, well, that's part of the football
Yeah.
because he's being obnoxious.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, did you like what he was doing?
Well, I mean,
Hmm.
it was really mixed because it was a good thing and then it was also a bad thing because we saw, Dawson fight over about it with Mitch and, how Mitch believes that it's going to mess, the game up and the play and everything like that because no one knew what his team looked like, and now they do. So he's mad about that.
Okay, so whose side are you on?
I don't know, like it's just it's hard to say because it was good publicity for the game too to make people more excited about it. And like maybe see the players and maybe if they want to like I don't know make bets on who's gonna win or I don't know.
But it seemed like the town was already excited.
Yeah.
The school was already into school spirit.
Mhm.
So they were already pumped for the game anyway, whether they were going to win or lose.
Mhm.
Do you think Dawson made the right decision, though, to air it?
Well, I don't know because like he was kind of like between his mom and his dad. Like he was gonna disappoint one either way, no matter what he did. So that was kind of hard to decide too.
Okay. But do you think he did the right thing?
I don't know. I really don't know. Do you?
I'm on Mitch's side.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, take out Mitch's job, okay?
Mhm.
Because I know at some point I think you talked about that, but take out Mitch's job. Let's think about Jack for a minute.
Okay. Yeah.
Jack could get hurt.
Yeah.
Putting him out there for the
Mhm.
world to see,
Mhm.
any news station can pick that up once that news station put it out there.
Mhm.
It could go out to everybody in the world. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
And then, especially because the 90s, you didn't come out. And the
Mhm.
fact that he did, and it's like, oh, the story and blah blah. Are you trying to make him bad? Like, Dawson, really?
Well,
Like,
Dawson.
I know Dawson was doing it not to, do that to Jack, but you have to look at the bigger picture, what could happen.
Mm-hmm.
It could get bad.
Yeah.
And ugly.
Mm-hmm.
And Jack is still a kid.
Yeah.
And he shouldn't have to go through all the scrutiny and everything. I mean, he already did in the town.
Mm-hmm.
You want him to do it with the rest of the world?
Right. Well,
And also,
yeah.
okay,
Mm-hmm.
you've been to some football games.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if there is a star, and I've been a lot closer to it, if there is a star player, that team knows. And once that team knows, you are dead. I'm sorry. That person, they are going to be like, crush them every time. That's just what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
You see it all the time on games. If there is a star, good luck.
Yeah.
Because that's who they go after.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact, Mitch is right. Like, they didn't know how good Jack was until Dawson showed them. And they didn't know who he was. So they didn't know what number he was. They didn't know his name. They didn't know anything. And the fact that Dawson just put that out, forget that he's gay for a second. Yes, for the game, it wasn't good. And if Dawson thought at all about other people and thought about the game, he should know that.
Mm-hmm. Well, Jack did kind of give him permission because he was interviewing him on the football field, and that's when Mitch told Jack that he needs to get back to practice.
Yeah, he needed to practice, not. Okay. And then what happened at the game?
Things got intense, so they had to come up with a game plan, new game
because
plan.
of Dawson.
Mm-hmm.
Because once again, it was like, oh, there he is. Go after him.
Mm-hmm.
Like, seriously.
Yeah.
And then, because of Dawson's movie, that one play where he was already tackled. Jack was already tackled. And then they had to pile on him. I'm like, you didn't have to pile on him. That should have been a flag because you don't pile on him after he's been tackled. That's just like unsportsmanship.
Yeah.
But it was because they were trying to take him out. So yes, I agree with Mitch on this. It's not even, for me, it's not about Mitch and Dawson. It's not about Mitch and Gail. It's about the game.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't do that. If you have a secret player, a secret play, you don't give that stuff out. The other team has to work for it to figure it out. That's what football's all about. That's what any sport is all about. You don't just do that. And the fact that Dawson did, it was like really stupid.
Yeah, I don't really know much about football, so.
Okay, Cynthia.
I don't.
You never watched a game.
I have, but I don't really think about it, strategies and all that. Like, when introducing Cliff, I was confused of, what was he called? Like a front, what was he? It's something I never heard of. Yeah, so that just proves I don't know much about sports.
Yeah, what did you call him?
Well, I said what they said, like,
What'd they say?
I don't remember because it was like front back or something. I don't know. Because I only know.
Fullback.
Yeah, something like that. I don't know.
From,
Like I said, I don't know.
there's fullback,
Okay.
wide receiver,
Mm-hmm.
quarterback.
I only know quarterback
I only know quarterback.
because that's like the popular guy most of the time. Isn't it?
It's what? The popular guy?
Yeah, that's his position or whatever.
Yeah, they brag about him, and I never understand that because, yeah, they're the quarterback, but you need the rest of the guys to back you up. Otherwise, you're gonna get tackled like Jack got.
Mm-hmm.
So you kind of need the rest of the team to look out for you.
Yeah.
So, and also, who are you gonna throw to?
Mm-hmm.
If there's no one else on the field, how are you gonna get to the other side?
Right.
That's what I always want to know. Whenever they make people, I'm not going to say their names, whenever they make quarterbacks as this big name and everything, I always question why there are other people on the field who have to protect.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't they ever get any publicity out of it? Why is it always the quarterback?
I have no idea.
Just saying.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, isn't Henry the quarterback, though?
I have no idea.
I think he is. Yeah,
I just know he's the youngest.
He Yeah, I think he's like the freshman
Mm-hmm.
quarterback.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll go to my favorite couple on
Mm-hmm.
the road.
Yep.
And what happens?
Well, they're only walking because Pacey couldn't get his dad's car this time.
Yeah, and Joey's like, why can't you get the car? And he's like, well, my dad does like to drive it sometimes. Okay, when they're bantering back and forth,
Mm-hmm.
I missed it.
Yeah.
This is what I missed.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Pacey and Andie bantered, yes.
Yeah.
I missed Pacey and Joey bantering. They're just so cute. I'm sorry, they are. And I just miss this so much, and I love their banter.
Yeah.
Anyway, also about this,
Mm-hmm.
he keeps calling her Josephine.
I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, he was calling her Josephine, and then especially when Principal Green came up, he was like, "Oh, yes, Josephine and I were," and then he was like, "Josephine, after you," of getting in the car. I'm like, what?
Mm-hmm.
Like, Pacey just keeps calling her Josephine, and it's funny.
Yeah. But it was funny how they were trying to flag a car down, and Pacey was telling Joy that she has to do it because she has a better chance of getting one than he does.
Yeah, and then she said, "You're sexist."
Yeah.
And then what did he say? He's not sexist. He's
She just has a, I don't know. I just said that he points out she has a better chance at getting them a ride than he would because of her feminine charm or whatever.
now. Would you do that? You don't even know the car,
No, yeah,
and
no.
even if you got grabbed, Pacey isn't even there to watch him.
Yeah, because he just like
Jumps
yeeted,
in the bush.
yeah, he just yeeted himself. Like he jumped so high
I
for no
know.
reason.
It was like, what'd you do? Jump over a tree?
Yeah.
What are you, a frog? And you can
Mm-hmm.
just jump.
Yeah, that was so unexpected. I thought he'd just like quickly hide behind something, but he just like jumped.
Jumped
Mm-hmm.
really high.
Yeah.
As if he's jumping over a person.
Yeah. And then he kind of like had his arms out, so he kind of like flailed over.
Like he's a bird.
Yeah. So I was surprised she didn't start laughing just because of that.
But would you do that though? Stick your
No.
thumb out.
No.
You don't know who's gonna pull up.
Right.
They should be lucky it was the principal.
Mm-hmm. But it was funny that was a principal anyhow. So I'm
Well, and
wondering why.
what's Principal Green doing out? He's supposed to be in school too?
Yeah, I was gonna say he must have maybe heard that they had skipped class, so he went out to go look for them himself, I guess.
Well, I'm sure he was going to look for Joey,
Yeah.
but then when he found out Pacey was missing too, he's like, oh.
Mm-hmm.
And they probably didn't have cameras. See, cameras would have shown you left the school.
Yeah, maybe it was just like attendance. They saw that they didn't get marked for attendance in their class.
Probably.
Yeah, but and then Pacey comes out acting like, oh, like we were lost. We didn't know if we are gonna get home before dark and all that. Like, so glad you're here. All that.
Yeah. And then what does Principal Green say? Drop the.
I didn't really like quotes in this one. What do you say?
He dropped the something. Or no, he said, I hope you're not allergic to something. And then he said, drop the poison ivy or whatever. And Pacey's like,
Oh,
okay.
yeah. That was funny.
I was like, yeah, that's funny. And then I'm like, why would you want Pacey in your car though? He has poison ivy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know.
You might want to wash your car now.
Mm-hmm.
See, this is why I love Principal Green. What kind of principal would go out there getting their students back?
Right.
None that I know.
Nope, me neither.
Ours would be like, oh, they missed. Oh well. I mean, they wouldn't even know if you skipped.
Mm-hmm.
And also, why is Joey skipping? Doesn't she want to leave this town? Isn't attendance important for her grades?
Yeah, it should be.
So why is she skipping? It's not like she's skipping like she's doing a project for the, any class. She's just skipping. She should be in school. I'm just saying. I mean, I love her and Pacey, but she should be in school.
I guess she just wanted to see what that surprise was that he had for her.
She couldn't just go visit after school.
I guess not. I don't know.
I mean, like I said, I love it, but I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm. And then Dawson shows up at Joey's work to ask advice on what he should do about his documentary.
Yeah, that was weird. It's out of the blue.
Yeah, well, I still just thought it was nice that they were still communicating and...
Well, then she said that's what ex-girlfriends are for.
Yeah.
Or dumped ex-girlfriend. I don't know, something like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so apparently we get caught up on Mitch, like he had to give up his restaurant dream, probably because of money-wise, and then said that.
And with the divorce, he can't dream of a restaurant. He has no money.
Yeah, and then he wasn't doing as well of a job as a substitute teacher.
Well, and also, first of all, they pay him that much money for him to quit his teaching job. But also, because I feel like if you're in a small town, you wouldn't get paid that much.
Mm-hmm.
Not to like live off of.
Yeah.
I feel like big cities do, but not a little town.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It was weird when Joey brought up ex-girlfriend because I'm like, now you're just the ex-girlfriend. You're not even his friend.
Mm-hmm.
It was weird. I'm like, what happened to this at least 10-year friendship? And now we're just going to talk about how you're the ex-girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
Weird.
Yeah, because last time they were like, we're Joey and Dawson. So that definitely wasn't anywhere near exes.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was weird.
Yeah, so Mitch hasn't had it easy recently. And that's when Joey said that sometimes we fight our fathers and they respect us, and sometimes we fight them and we lose them forever.
as she means her father. And it's funny how she's talking to the person that caused it all.
Yeah, she was just trying to give him some advice of
I know,
everything
but
with
I'm
his
surprised
dad.
he didn't like look at her and like pout or something because it was about him.
Yeah, or say sorry or something.
Yeah, and be like, I know. Why didn't he just say like, I'm sorry?
Yeah.
I'm sorry you lost your dad.
And then that's when Dawson gives Joey the tape of her and him when they first met as little kids.
Yeah.
As a thank you.
It's just weird. All of a sudden, he has this tape.
Yeah, like he
out of the blue.
Yeah, planned to take it to her.
Is it weird that Grams is letting all those girls in Jen's room?
Yeah, when she's sleeping.
And why is she okay with it?
Well, she did seem mad they woke her up, but
wouldn't she like have the girls outside and be like, I'll go get her?
Yeah.
Not, we all can go up to her room and just
hover over her
as she's sleeping.
Yeah.
That is so weird.
Ugh. Just to get her to give the kiss at the auction.
Yeah, and just because it's for charity, like, why is Grams okay with her using herself? Okay, Grams is all about that, right? Not using yourself, your body or anything. And yet, here she is. She's going to let her granddaughter kiss a stranger.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
So you being so concerned all this time about Jen, you're not concerned anymore for this because it's about charity. That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah,
especially
for the orphans.
For someone who is religious. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, for the orphans. So that's the only reason why Jen got up.
Yeah, but I think that's the only reason why Grams is all for it. But I don't get, if you're religious, why you're so for it. She's still using and basically selling herself for it. That's dumb.
Yeah.
And I will say though that Henry, she should be happy that it was Henry that she had a kiss, because he said you don't have to do it.
Yeah.
If it was anybody else, they'd have been like, we're gonna kiss. Like if it was some pervert, they'd be like, no, we're kissing.
Right.
And they'd probably use a tongue and everything. But it's like, Henry was like, no, you don't have to. Right. And it's like, but dude, you paid $500. That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
Okay. Can we talk about that?
About the money?
Yeah.
Yeah.
$500 for what did he sell?
That lucky mouthpiece, apparently.
Who? Okay, he's not famous, right?
Right.
Who would buy his mouthpiece?
I don't know. Especially if it's used. Yeah.
His used mouthpiece.
I don't know. Maybe he traded it in to somewhere. I don't know.
Okay, he's not famous.
Right.
It's not Tom Brady's mouthpiece. It's some kid on a football team's mouthpiece. Yeah. There is no way somebody would buy that for $500.
I guess if it was someone desperate to want one without going to the dentist or something, I don't know, for one.
You think you need a mouthpiece?
I don't know how. I don't, like I said.
You think they go to the dentist to get a mouthpiece?
Doesn't somebody make them?
You can buy them at the store, I think.
Okay, yes. Yeah, I don't know. Well, if it's at a store, it wouldn't probably even be that much, right? So he got more money than it's worth, even if it's new.
It's not $500.
How much is it?
I don't know. Type it in. How much is a mouthpiece?
For football?
Yeah. But I'm just like, it's weird. He's
Mm-hmm.
not famous, and it's $500. And especially, this was the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
$500 is a lot of money for the 90s. So the
Yeah.
fact that somebody bought that,
Mm.
what did he have to use a name so that they'd buy it?
Yeah, he could have lied. Maybe he saw on eBay instead it was like some famous football players.
Yeah. Creepy. But see, even that's creepy.
Mm-hmm.
Buying a celebrity's mouthpiece.
Yeah. At Walmart, the mouthpieces are about $16.
Okay, see, there you go.
Yeah,
You
so
didn't have to go to the dentist.
he had to have done something to get that much money.
And it's used.
Mm-hmm.
There's teeth marks in it and everything.
He
And
definitely lied about
drool.
whose it is.
Yeah, that's disgusting. Probably never been washed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's all I had to say. Gross.
Mm-hmm.
Um Also, okay, so Andie is sitting on the steps.
Yeah.
She's sitting in the middle of the steps. She's not even sitting on an end where people could still walk. They have to walk around her.
Yeah.
What is up with that?
I don't know.
Who just sits there in the middle of the steps?
She just got a lot of her mind with that ETS guy or
If
whatever.
somebody didn't like her, they'd kick her on
Right.
accident.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I mean, even Jack points it out, but I'm just like, why?
Mm-hmm.
Why make her sit right there?
Yeah. And then Andie goes to go on about Jack about well, it looks like that she's talking about the documentary, but she's only talking about herself.
Mm-hmm.
That she's freaking out about, saying
Yeah,
how
and then
it's a
she says,
mistake.
well, and then she says, think about Dad.
Yeah.
Okay,
Break his heart.
if you're thinking about Jack, which I know she's thinking about herself, but if you're thinking about Jack because you're talking to him,
Mm-hmm.
why should he care about what his father thinks?
Right.
He wouldn't. So the fact that you're only thinking of yourself,
Mm-hmm.
because I'm like, Jack should be like, why? He doesn't care about me. That's what he should have said.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of just listening to her and saying, well, Dad knows I'm out.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, but you should be saying, who cares about Dad?
Yeah.
Well, and then can we finish up their storyline?
Yeah.
At the end of the game,
Mm-hmm.
when he makes the touchdown, and then she's like, who won?
Oh, yeah.
I said, really, Andie?
Yeah.
Because she's going on and on about, and he's thinking it's about him, right? And then as if she watched the game, right? And then she says, who won? Really?
Yeah. Even Jack gave her that look.
And wouldn't you be wondering why your brother has makeup on?
Yeah, well,
She didn't watch the game?
Yeah. She was just so caught up in her head about that with the principal and everything.
Yeah, she's annoying. What did you think of her and her, just, I don't know. She was barely in it, I feel like.
Yeah, like I said, it didn't really go anywhere. I thought she was gonna get in trouble, but
What
it was
did you
only
think about her scene of her in the mirror acting like she's confessing?
Oh, yeah, yeah. Yeah, she was just rehearsing what she was gonna tell him, the principal. I don't know. I thought it was like kind of.
Did you think she was actually confessing?
Oh yeah, for a second, yeah, yeah, but it did seem like she was struggling still with the breakup with Pacey and everything.
Okay,
But
about that.
yeah.
I have an issue with what she was saying in the mirror.
Mm-hmm.
She was saying how, I came back, I had my mental illness or whatever. I came back and, came back because I was better. And I needed, and then I came back and I lost the,
Love of her life.
yeah, the love of her life and her boyfriend. And I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. You lost him because you cheated.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only reason why Pacey broke up with you. If you didn't cheat, you two would still be together.
Mm-hmm.
And you'd probably get married.
Yeah.
Like, you cheated. Why is she telling herself? See, she's making her illness but is worse because she's telling herself she didn't do anything wrong. When she should be saying she cheated.
Well, as long as she didn't do anything wrong, she just thinks that Pacey should forgive her because she said she was sorry.
Okay, but if Pacey would have cheated,
Mm-hmm.
she wouldn't have handled it right either.
Right.
And she would have broke up with him.
Mm-hmm.
Because in her eyes, just like anyone else, it would have been, you should only be into me and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, same thing for guys. They feel the same thing, the same way.
Mm-hmm.
You should be into them only.
Yeah.
So you sleeping with some other guy and then actually hanging out with them afterwards? That's the thing. It wasn't a one night stand.
Mm-hmm.
She spent that whole summer still hanging out with the guy.
Yeah.
After they had sex.
Yep.
So it's not like it was one night stand. I think Pacey may have been able to forgive that. But the fact that there was some emotional tie to it definitely threw him off the edge, and it would have thrown anyone off the edge.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm like, I didn't like that. I'm like, no. You didn't lose. You did that you did that on your own.
Mm-hmm.
That was your own choice. And you made it.
Mm-hmm.
And then you lost him.
Yep.
I can't believe she thought her sleeping with the guy was going to be okay with Pacey.
Right.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, just because she said she was sorry.
Well, and just because I was in a different state of mind.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. You had this emotional thing after you were healed.
Mm-hmm.
So no, it's not okay. But okay, so she does finally try to, she still yaps and yaps to the principal, right, on the field. What did you think when he told her what he wanted to see her for?
Yeah, it was
For the disciplinary board or something.
Mm-hmm.
My thing is, Andie shouldn't be on a disciplinary board. She should be the first student to be punished by the disciplinary board. Know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I'm just trying to find my notes about that. Yeah, there we go. But yeah, it is ironic that she will be judging students for their actions and get away with hers. You know, even though
Yeah, she should be the first person.
Yeah, even though they'll do, a lot less worse than what she did. So
do you think that it's if they ever bring the story up again, do you think it'll be really like it'll start to, you know how like Abby's death triggered things in her and her illness got worse?
Yeah.
Do you think it'll be that same thing? Like she'll start to lose it because she's already losing it, but it'll get worse when she has to like punish someone?
I don't know.
Especially if like they stole a pencil, like as little as that.
Yeah.
And she has to punish them for it when she stole a test. I mean, do you think that she'll start to lose it even worse or no?
Maybe, yeah, if the guilty.
Because she's already spiraling.
Yeah.
And I feel like it'll get worse if she has to punish someone for less.
Right.
Than what she did.
Yeah.
Because it'll, in your mind, which, I mean, I would have that guilt and be like, wait a minute, you did a whole lot less. Why am I, punishing you for this? Like, that's little.
Yeah.
Compared to what I did. I mean, I think that's what she's going to think.
Yeah.
If they ever bring this story up, you know how they like to drop stories.
Yeah, because, we never heard about Dawson's movie again about his life.
Yeah, and Devin.
Yeah.
Remember her?
Yeah.
And Chris, whatever happened to him?
He disappeared. And then we find out that Dawson did go through with the story, and they're watching on the news now, him and Mitch. So now Mitch is furious that now everybody knows about Jack, so he can't use him as a secret weapon anymore for the game. Like you said,
Oh, okay. So let's go back on to, my favorite couple.
Okay.
Pacey and Joey. When they're in Principal Green's office.
Yeah.
What happens?
Well, he said that he's going to punish them because wasn't about hold on, let me see. Yeah, but he just shows them something in a box, but he said something else. What did he say? I didn't write that down.
Well, I don't know what he said, but
yeah, it was something about how they seem to not like each other or something.
Yeah.
So he'll punish them together to make it.
Or if you're so fond of each other or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Instead of like giving them just attention or something.
Now, how did you like when he grabs her on the field and was like, Mike is sick in the back.
Yeah, that didn't really make sense, but okay.
And then she's like, I need to be at work right now, not And also, her boss is a jerk. How did she get out of work?
I don't know. That's surprising.
Have you met her boss?
Mm-hmm.
He'd be like, he didn't let her get out of studying for the test. So how is he going to let her get out of this?
I don't know.
Because remember, she wouldn't sleep with him or something. So he said, oh, well, I'm not giving you the night off
Yeah,
to
it was
study.
a date. Yeah.
So what makes you think he's going to let her off the hook for this?
I don't know. Maybe the principal wrote her a note. I don't know. That's all I can think of.
The principal wrote a note to the boss.
That's all I can think of. I don't know.
Oh my God, that's funny.
That seems to be the only reason that could happen.
Your only logical reason.
Yeah.
Also, why is Joey still working and Bess is not?
I don't know.
This has been all summer and now we're into the school year and I'm tired of Joey working and Bess not working.
Me too.
Okay, I get that she has a kid, right? That we never see. Where is the father of this child? If you are in financial crisis, your boyfriend, significant other, whatever he is to you, needs to be home to take care of the financial responsibilities.
Yeah.
It should not be up to Joey to take care of the family. She is a teenager. And the fact that she can only work a couple hours a day, Bess needs to be working. And okay, so Bess goes out and works and Joey watches the kid. That's the way that it should be. Not so that, because then Joey could study, do her homework, and still watch the kid. But the fact that Bess is just like having free time, it seems like.
Yeah.
Not working, not caring about responsibilities.
Yeah.
But making it all on Joey. Why? She is the teenager. And I'm sorry, but that dad of that child needs to come home.
Or like pay child support or something.
I know wherever he is, whatever he's doing, they don't even tell us. But he needs to be bringing something home to them to pay for.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. I just don't like that she isn't working for herself like she was.
Yeah.
She's now working to support the family.
Yeah.
Which is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Because Bess should also be working.
Yeah.
It's one thing if they were both working, but Bess is not working. So at this point, Joey is the only adult in that family.
True.
See, now if Bess ever wants some, Joey should be like, I'm the one that pays the bills around here. I don't think so. You don't get the extra cup of coffee today. You don't get those donuts. Not in my budget.
Yeah. And then how'd you feel when Dawson told Mitch that he hasn't been talking to him since he became the coach?
I think Dawson wants Mitch to talk to him when Dawson feels like talking. Because season 2, when Mitch and Gail separated, Mitch tried and tried and tried to get Dawson to talk to him and be his friend and everything. Yeah. And it was like, he wasn't working being father and son. So Mitch was like, well, then fine, like, I'll be your friend. And then Dawson's like, oh, I don't want a friend. Well, you also clearly don't want a dad either. And then he tried like crazy. And then now Dawson's like, you won't talk to me. And it's like, he tried like all last year to talk to you and hang out with you. And you didn't want that. You pushed him away. And you told him to get a job. Now he got a job and now you don't like it.
Yeah.
Oh my, what kind of idiot are you? This is why he's a big fat idiot. Because he told his dad, go get a job. For 2 seasons we've heard go get job, right? That he was jobless. Now he found a job that he loves and he's good at. And he takes seriously. Because some coaches don't. And then Dawson's throwing it in his face. See? He threw in, you don't have a job, you don't have money. Now he's throwing in, well, now you're working too much. What? What kind of idiot are you?
And Dawson even told him that he parents Mitch more than Mitch parents him.
Dawson's always acted like the parent, though.
Yeah. Like
when he told his dad to go get a job, like on the fishing trip. It was like Dawson's always taken that role. It's not news. I don't know why he's acting like it, that it's all new. And also, Dawson and Mitch are 2 very different people, you know? And what teenager really wants to hang out with their parent? Is he realizing Mitch is cool or something?
I don't know.
So how did you like when Joey and Pacey when they finally showed who was in the mule, the mascot, the so-called mascot, and it was those two. They must be freshmen or something.
Mm-hmm.
And they said, they were arguing, and then they said, I can't believe we let those two talk us into it.
Yeah.
I thought that was funny. I'm like, see, Pacey didn't have to be the front or the back of the mule.
Yeah.
They got someone else to be.
Yeah, but I wonder how they, convinced them of what they said.
Bribed them with something.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because they didn't say, I'm so happy we got paid off or anything.
Mm-hmm.
But Pacey does like paying people off, so.
Yeah.
So he probably just showed him some money. And also, does Dawson just no longer work?
No, at the moment, no, I don't know.
Well, we didn't really see it in season 2 either. Remember, you said, oh, Pacey is finally at the video store, but Dawson's not.
Right.
And then now, once again, Dawson's still not at the video store.
Yeah.
So I guess he quit the video store.
I guess.
Well, think about it. If he was working, he wouldn't be telling Mitch, we don't spend time together. Because
Right.
they'd both be working.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't make any sense.
Right.
Well, I guess all it makes sense is Dawson doesn't work.
Mm-hmm. And right now the team's losing the game, so Mitch gives them a pep talk, and that's when Dawson walks in and tells them that he has an idea.
First,
Yeah.
Dawson and Jen are sitting together watching the game, and then
Mm-hmm.
Jack's getting tackled like crazy, and then Dawson's like, is this all my fault? And Jen's like, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, thank you, Jen. I was so happy she didn't sugarcoat it.
Yeah.
She just said yes. Because I was saying it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then go on. The locker room, what happens?
The cheerleaders walk in. Of course, this makes the boys happy, and they have a bucket, but I guess it had to have the makeup that they're going to use to put on the boys, but like not even like well done. It was just kind of like wild, like they slept in it or something. Like it looked a little bit like clownish, just to distract the other team, so they couldn't, point out which player was Jack and listen to his number, but face-wise, they couldn't see who he was really with all the makeup.
Well, because Dawson first wanted to like put mud or whatever all over their numbers so they couldn't tell who's Jack.
Yeah.
And then the second plan was to have the cheerleaders come in and put makeup all over their face.
Okay, yeah.
So I think they kind of did both. I think so. Maybe in the bucket was the mud, maybe.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And then the makeup, the girls just probably had in their pockets or something.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Yeah, but anyways, that either way it worked, and Cape Side actually won.
What did you think of when they showed the guys with the makeup? I cannot believe the actors actually did that.
Yeah, it was funny. It was a good strategy. I guess there's nothing about that in the football game rules.
No, none that I've seen, but that was funny.
And then the principal announced the winner of the auction. And when they said ride the mule, I thought like a real mule, But no, they had Henry sitting on
those kids.
Yeah, who were supposed to be Joey and Pacey. So I know that.
Then they fell over.
Yeah, so I know that Joey and Pacey are really happy now that they made those freshmen do it. But yeah, I was like, you couldn't even get a real mule for him to ride on.
Well, and not even like a little cart or something.
Yeah,
that's dressed as.
Yeah,
that's just decorated as. That's what our school would have done.
Mm-hmm. I mean, we did have real donkeys for those baseball games. Wasn't that like a fundraiser too? Do you remember that?
You said baseball.
Oh, I meant basketball. See, I can't keep them straight.
You said baseball.
I meant basketball. But you know what I'm talking about, remember?
Yeah, but nobody else does. It was a basketball.
Yeah, basketball game. And they had real donkeys there, so I don't see how Cape Side couldn't get a real mule.
I love those donkeys. Do you think they still do those?
I don't know.
Those are fun to watch.
Yeah.
It was funny. Those donkeys are good. It was funny because some donkeys wanted, it was like the horses, like, some want to go and some don't. And so like they're sitting there like, let's go. That's how they were able to steal the ball. Mm-hmm. If you know anything about basketball, it'd be like stealing the ball, Cynthia.
Yeah, I get it.
Well, you said you knew nothing about sports. I'm just saying.
Yeah, and a little bit, barely. Yeah, so it turns out, Henry won because he actually got $500 for that mouthpiece somehow. So I don't know, to kiss Jen, and that's when he tells her that she doesn't have to do it, but she does. And it was a real kiss, not just a peck either. So,
Nope.
but then when Jen
That's what I
thinks,
mean. I think she was happy it was Henry and not some strange weirdo
yeah,
that has been like crushing on her.
mm-hmm,
I mean, yes, he has a crush, but I mean, not like some psycho.
adult, yeah,
like Vincent.
mm-hmm. Yeah, so when Jen thinks the game's over and everything, that's when the principal announces that Jen won as homecoming queen, and she does not like this at all.
All of a sudden, it's homecoming.
Yeah.
This whole episode, they said nothing about homecoming.
Mm-hmm.
Now, all of a sudden, it's homecoming.
Yep.
That was my thing.
Yeah.
You do know there's a dance after homecoming, right?
Yeah.
And yet, is the next episode going to be homecoming?
Maybe.
Otherwise, it doesn't make any sense, this episode.
I know. And then they never announced homecoming king, you know? It was just queen.
Yeah, that's all they care about is the queen.
Yeah.
So then Joey and Pacey go to the boat that he bought.
Yeah.
For what was it? $200?
Yeah, something like that.
Okay, so he bought the boat for $200 and somebody bought Henry's mouthpiece for $500.
Yep.
Okay. Like that makes any sense.
Mm-hmm.
So it was funny though because when Joey's like, this, like talking about like how long it's gonna take Pacey to fix the boat up, and Pacey says, "Not a minute or less than it takes me."
Mm-hmm.
And then he makes her help him fix the boat up.
Yeah, that was a surprise.
And
from
then
earlier.
what is his boat's name?
True Love.
That is the sign that he had to get when they skipped school.
Mm-hmm.
That was the mystery.
Yep, at the post office.
Mm-hmm.
And then Mitch and Dawson have a moment when Mitch tells Dawson that he cried when Dawson was born.
Okay. I didn't need all that, but okay. Did you need that?
I thought it was sweet. They had a nice moment. And how he said that he realizes his job as a father isn't about giving Dawson the whole picture because he can't see it himself. It's his job to help him get a piece of the puzzle every now and then. I thought that was really deep and insightful.
Yeah. And then Dawson wants to play catch.
Mm-hmm.
But Mitch is like, let's go home.
Yeah.
And then what's Joey doing?
Watching the tape that Dawson gave her when they were kids. So we see her mom too.
Yeah. And Mitch. So once again, Gail's not in the picture.
Guess she was just working, yeah.
Yeah, working, quotes. Probably with a coworker.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so yeah, we just see young Joey and Dawson blowing bubbles and playing in the creek in later parts. And then it looks like she's missing those times, back then when it was just them being young and just,
Yeah, and there was no romantic feelings.
Yeah.
When they could just be kids.
Mm-hmm. And I thought it was cute how the scene ends with young Dawson and Joey saying bye to each other over the credits.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Yeah, that
Never
was cute.
Again. Just kidding. Yeah. Just kidding.
Mm-hmm.
So what are your high and low for the episode?
Low was probably just Jen trying to get out of being a cheerleader, but she keeps being dragged in one way or another. Just her whole situation of having to kiss somebody that she really didn't want to. And then the high was just
Wait, Jen, that part was your low?
Yeah, just because you could tell she was miserable. She didn't want to be there. She didn't want to do it.
Okay.
And then the high was when Joey and Pacey were caught skipping school. And the part specifically when Pacey just yeeted himself over that bush for no reason at all.
It was funny.
Yeah. It would have been funny if he did end up getting poison ivy. It would have been funny.
Oh my God. So for me, my low was Andie's storyline.
Mm-hmm.
I could have cut that whole thing out. It didn't do anything. She was on her own. It was stupid.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't care for it. I didn't care for her talking to herself in the mirror.
Mm-hmm.
That whole thing could have been. We could have spent more time on any other storyline than her talking in the mirror. And then And she wasn't even being a good sister, saying congratulations.
Yeah, she wasn't paying attention to what was going on with him at all.
Yeah, rude.
Mm-hmm.
And then so my high is yes. And for me, the whole banter of Pacey and Joey
Mm-hmm.
and all their scenes together, definitely the high of this episode.
Yeah.
And then what would you rate it?
Like a 7.
I'd rate this an 8.
Mm.
I told you, season 3 is getting better.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And then what's your best and worst character?
My best was Joey, just because she helped Pacey with his boat, even though she didn't really have to.
She ended up sitting there at the end and he put his arms out like, what? You didn't see that?
No.
Oh my God. Anyway.
And then the worst is just the other football team for tackling Jack like that. What? I told you I couldn't think of a specific person.
Okay, I have a question. Okay.
Just a group.
So you said like that. So that meant your group? I thought you meant there was other people besides that. So nobody else was your worst?
No.
Just the football team?
Yeah. Who was yours?
All right, Cynthia.
What? I couldn't think of anything.
Oh my God. All right. So for me, the best
Mm-hmm.
was Jen.
Okay.
Because she tried to get out of kissing,
Mm-hmm.
the whole kissing thing, but she still sucked it up and did it for charity. And plus she was entertaining trying to get out of it.
Mm-hmm.
And then the worst was Dawson. Because Jack could have got killed on that field.
Mm-hmm.
He could have got hit the wrong way and he could have been paralyzed. So you know
Concussion.
what? Yeah. So you know what? Dawson was the worst.
Okay, yeah.
Because if you know anything about football, you don't do that.
Right.
And maybe he should be at practice to know what the game is all about.
Mm-hmm.
And he really should have got permission from the coach
Yeah.
to put it on national television.
Mm-hmm.
Which I feel like would be a real thing. If you're gonna film, it would be the coach would have something to say about it.
Yeah.
And the fact that Dawson just went over his head.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Dawson definitely is the worst. I can't believe you said the football team.
Well, they were hurting Jack.
Yeah, because of Dawson.
Mm-hmm.
They wouldn't have done that if Dawson didn't do what he did.
Yeah.
So it all goes back to Dawson.
He didn't make it up to them.
Oh, whatever.
They won the game.
Okay, but again, it wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for Dawson. All right. So what is the next episode?
Episode 5 of season 3, Indian Summer.
Oh Lord. All right. Summer.
But I don't know, it's summer when we're in the school year. Yeah, so okay.
All right. It's not even homecoming.
I know.
Oh, that's stupid.
Yeah.
All right. I better see a homecoming dance.
Mm-hmm.
All right. See you guys next time.
Yep, thanks for listening.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks for listening to this episode of Duo Chat. If you want to chime in with your opinion about the episode and the show we discussed, you can email us at duochatpodcast@gmail.com. And to keep up with updates about the podcast, you can follow us at Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at Duo Chat Podcast. And give us a review wherever you listen to podcasts. We would really appreciate it.